people, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. I am grateful for all the love that I've been receiving from all of you. So in today's video, it'll be like a continuation of the previous video where I was talking about the labor ward. Yeah, so today I'll be talking about motherhood. In a nutshell, my experiences. Now I'm in the 6th month after birth, and yeah, my baby's 6 months old, obviously, and I wanted to share my experiences and what I encountered during this 6 months. So yeah, it has been a roller coaster, but I am still here. I am still alive. I am still keeping on. Yeah, so without mushing any more of your skati, we're gonna get right into the video. Disclaimer, this is my own personal experience and this is what I have found to have worked for me. So please do not find some things to say about what I'm going to say, because it is what I'm going to say. Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not scientific, or it's not something that I read up a book, or it's not a fact. It's not fact. It's my own personal experience, and we all have different experiences as mothers because we're different people, different pregnancies and whatever. So let's get into the video. I'm gonna start off with a short story about myself. Well, yeah, man, you know, when you grow up and you have plans for your life and you have plans for what you want to do if you would have a baby, when you do have a baby. So I personally wanted to have a baby when I was like 28, 30, somewhere there, you know, when I have done all the things that I wanted to do, like traveling and getting everything together, like having a house, being married, and all those things that come to your head when you're a kid before you get into the realistic world. Yeah, so I planned to do that, but because of lack of discipline and because of life, I had a baby when I was 23, which is still fine, but I would have liked to have a baby at a later stage. But now that she is here, this is what I have prepared for you guys who also have unexpected babies that are just popping up at the wrong time, you know. So yeah, I had plans, man, you know. I had plans, I had dreams, I had goals. Now I have to either delay them or switch them to cater for my situation at the moment. So yeah, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the physical changes. Obviously, that is the biggest thing that a lot of women have troubles with, and I personally had troubles with also, because I've never been this big, guys. I've never been this big, which I'm finding very difficult to deal with because I don't know what is my fashion sense anymore. I don't know how to pick clothes that suit me, because I like really nice slender people clothes, you know. Yeah, man, that's not the point, but the point is my body has really changed, the shape and everything. So I find that very, very difficult to accept and deal with, even though now I'm doing those workouts and everything like that. But I know I'm not going to get back to that ideal look that I've always wanted or that I've always had. But yeah, now I have to learn to work around that, you know. So yeah, the size, that is the first thing. The boobs hanging, guys. The boobs hanging, yeah, the boobs do hang. Even right now they're suicidal. Yeah, and stretch marks, something that I never had. I never had stretch marks, not even on my bum. I never had stretch marks anywhere, but now I have them all around my body. My body is filled with stretch marks. And what else? Yeah, man, those are the physical things that I've had to deal with as a mother, as a girlfriend, a future husband, a future husband. as a future wife to a certain gentleman, yeah, man, you know, it's kind of like it does mess with your confidence at a certain point, because you feel some type of way, you know, like getting naked for your boo, all those things, man. You can't be all sexy because you're insecure, you know. So those are the things that I'm dealing with now, being a mother. Yeah. And second thing I wanted to mention was the mental changes, guys. You become a psycho. You become a really anxious person. You overthink things, you overdo things. If you don't overdo them, you don't do them enough. If you don't overthink them, you don't think about it enough, which is not ideal, which is not good, especially if you have another person, a small being who literally can't do anything for themselves to think about, you know. So it's really, really frustrating sometimes, especially when you're doing it alone. Like, not alone, but then, you know, as mothers, we like taking all the monumental tasks and putting them to ourselves, diapers, everything, you know, everything, all those things, you just like dropping it on your shoulders, and you find that as time goes, you can't really cope that well. Yeah, man. And you know, if you're not quite used to a routine lifestyle, and like me, I'm a very casual person. I like doing things, you know, I just like going with the flow, you know. But now I had to like develop a certain routine in order to care for my baby and myself, so that I can ensure that I am well taken care of, as well as my baby, you know. Yeah, give myself attention and give her attention as well, because she requires more attention, you know. So there were certain points in my whole journey where I'd neglect myself also, which would affect me mentally, you know. So I'd end up being moody all the time, like being so weird on my boyfriend, and he'd also turn against me. Like, he'd also be so frustrating when he doesn't want to do things for me. Like, I feel so entitled to being helped, or else I made my bed, now I have to learn it, you know. So yeah, man, those are the mental things that you get to deal with. Like, well, my postpartum depression, I don't even know it, because I never had it, but I know I probably had like symptoms of it. Yeah, it's not fun and games, guys. You can see that. We see those nice pictures like on Instagram, and mothers are flourishing out there, guys. It's not all about flourishing. Doesn't matter how rich you are, but then your child, guys, your child can drain you, you know. Your child can drain you. Doesn't matter how much you love a child. You can love them to the moon and back, and moon and back, but you know, they just get really frustrating, especially for me right now. My child is teething, guys. It is hell up in here, but you see, I can still face it. So it's not something you cannot deal with. It is something that you need to just adjust. We are black women, we are gorgeous. We can adjust very well to certain situations. So yeah, those are the kind of mental issues that I might have had, like feeling like, this is too much for me. I don't want this baby anymore. This baby must go to his dad. And then expecting the father to do all those small things like bathing the child, changing the diapers, which they can do, but they don't do very well. That frustrates me also, you know. So I get really upset, and then I want to do it myself. And then when I do it myself, I feel like, oh, this is too much, you know. So yeah, those are the things that I would say affected me a lot during this 6 months of the baby mama drama. And another thing, relationships, guys. If you are still with your baby daddy and you guys just had a baby, your first child, like, things change. Boom, you feel like you don't want to like be touched anymore. You don't want to converse, or you just feel like, gosh, just disappear for like 5 to 30 days or something like that, and then come back. It's not that you don't love him, it's just that you feel really overwhelmed by everything. And then he's also out there chilling, he's not wanting to change the diapers. Oh, like, who whose job is it? Honestly, like, whose job is it? Is it my job? Is it his job? Is it both our jobs? You know? So yeah, man, like, relationship does get affected, guys. You lose interest, you lose the chemistry, the spark. It all gets bent away, and some people, you find that they can't really deal with that well, and then they break up, which is not good. It's not nice, especially for the child, because, you know, they'll grow up and then they'll have stepfathers, and those stepfathers are gonna like abuse them and stuff like that, you know. So you don't want to do that to your child, so you have to stick with your baby daddy, you know. So on a lighter note, like, you do get to feel some type of way about your partner when you just had a kid and you guys are like trying to do this whole life thing together, but the baby's not allowing you and tough times are lasting. So yeah, man, it's really, really hectic out there, but then you just keep on keeping on, man. You just grind, you work on it, you work on your relationship, and you find, like, you compromise for each other, and then you help each other out. Like, even the guys, they should help out, you know. They should help out, because we are tired, like, we are struggling out there, and we really, really need your help. Yeah. And yo, guys, so there's this thing now that is a big factor to a lot of young mothers. It's a job. No, not a job. Oh, guys, I want a job so much. Like, I always talk about jobs. No, it's money. Like, money. It's money. You know, money in general. Like, money for the child. A child is a very sensitive being. Like, they get sick any day. They can fall now. They can get choked by a really, really soft potato, you know. And if you're not always cautious, if you're not always ready for that, when I say ready, I mean like having the shankurizer, everything, changing the cash dollar, you will not cope well. You will always be stressed. You'll be like, oh, yo, nyalo sefuna ngambe ngele esibhedlela le themba le ufola mali. Mind you, guys, we respect and we appreciate the fact that it's free, but the lines are so necessary, honestly. So yeah, before I had this whole what's the thing, medical aid thing figured out for my child, guys, my child was, I think it was like the third day after her birth. Like, she was 3 days old, guys. She had an eye infection. Oh, I waited. I went there at like 2 p.m. I came back home at like 9 p.m., guys. You know, public hospitals are good. We thank you, appreciate you, but then they are not convenient, honestly. They are not prioritizing small babies. And they should prioritize, like, people who are there first, obviously, which is like reasonable. But then when you're seeing your baby, they're struggling and they're so young, no, man, you know. So yeah, if you have no means to get like a medical aid situation going on, it's best to save, you know. Saving up is the best thing ever. Like, it's difficult sometimes, I know, especially when you're taking care of yourself and you're like your own breadwinner. It is difficult to save because there's so many needs besides a child. You yourself need to eat because the child eats you, you know. And yeah, man, like, you, especially if you have a house and stuff like that, like myself, have to take care of an entire household. I have to make sure the guardian boy is here and is paid. Have to, you know. So yeah, like, saving is the best thing that I have done for myself, and I feel like it has helped me out a lot, because now my child started eating, guys. Oh, purity. She wants purity. She wants this and that. She wants milk. Milk is expensive, guys. Expensive, you know. And yo, guys, priorities just shift, like, boom, like 360, boom, like boom, 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 you know. And you're like frustrated all the time. And although it's really satisfying to do something for your child and everything, like, you buy the nice clothes for winter, you know, you buy those cute little jackets, you buy those cute little beanies and socks and hand gloves, but then now sometimes you have goods. Now we uti hoodie, also shoes, also sweatpants, you know. But it's difficult to do that if you do not save, because you'll be spending your last monies on the babies, and then you can't do things for yourself, because retail therapy is so satisfying, guys. I don't know if you're wrong, Mara. Kutithengela something kumnanzi, especially if I'm not anything in a long time. Like that one's plenty, that one is so nice, and you really, really appreciate it. So yeah, that's another thing. Like, saving is the best thing for you and your child, because anytime it is tea time. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Although I would have loved a very, very different situation where I had like that nice stroller, that one with the 3 wheels, and then the child is looking at you in the aisles and you're walking there in the mall. I would have loved to afford those things, but then I opted to buying a cheaper, more convenient one for me, myself, and my bag, because I can't be fake living here. I cannot be fake living. If I cannot afford a certain thing, I shall not buy it, because it's not about you, it's about me. And I cannot be starving just to please you, you know? So yeah, like I would have loved, obviously, like I would have loved for my child to have like Nachi's clothes, a child, you know? But because of your situation, you shouldn't like force things as a mother. Like, there's so many cute baby clothes at Ackermans, at Boma Pep, at what, you know, at Woolies and stuff like that. So you shouldn't put pressure on yourself as a mother. So when they are like flourishing out there, guys, we are not the same. Don't have the same handbags, don't have the same wallets and the stacks of money. They are not the same, you know. So do not put pressure on yourself. A child doesn't know nothing. You can get them pep clothes from head to toe. They do not care. They do not care. Okay? So you too shall not care. You will not care, because first of all, they grow like really, really weird beings or something like that. Like, kids grow, yeah, but and you spend your last cash on the Adidas, you spend your last cash on the Versace, you know, and then to find that it just and which is very unnecessary, honestly. So yeah, man, I would have loved to do all those things for me, because of smile my corner, why not, you know, why not? But yeah, the situation that I'm in right now doesn't allow me to do that. But I'm very content with what I can do for my baby, because she's warm right now, she's clothed, and she can eat, she's full, I'm full, we are keeping on, guys. And there's nothing better than that. Like, your child does not know anything, so do not put pressure on yourself, and do not do things because it will affect you and your child, you know. You find your child having like 2 clothes just because they are Nike, just because they are a child. Do you your favor and just be within your child. You start doing the extra things when you are able to do the extra things, you know. Don't be calling your baby daddies and asking for monies that are necessary so that you can buy your child some really, really expensive shit. Guys, come on, you know. So yeah, that's another thing that I have learned, you know, as a mother. Go see, no label for child will get label when child start washing the dishes. No, man, you know, like, as a mother, you learn so many things. Like, you figure out that some other things aren't as important as you thought they were while you were a kid, you know. And you learn to be more appreciative of what you have and not lust on what you do not have, you know. Like, things like that. That's what I've grasped from this whole experience. Like, it's been 6 months. I know, like, I'm not an expert in anything, but I can say, like, Uti, guys, some of the things that we are like, they really, really, really do not matter. Like, honestly, like, they don't really matter that much, honestly, you know. So yeah, man, just do what you can for your child, you know. Promise you, trust me, you will not regret it. The last thing, I'm sorry, guys, this meme hairstyle is making me feel all the wise and wisdomous. Another thing is that, yeah, man, if you are a trying mother, if you are a struggling mother, I mean like a mom's mom's group thingy on WhatsApp, and then that is very helpful for me. Look, I get to get advice from other young mothers out there, So I feel like if you're friends of like kids, Sajilana these days, if you know people that do have kids, ask for advice, because you do not know everything, especially us. Like, we're trying to do everything ourselves, we're doing things the new way, and our mothers and our grandmothers, they do not know the new way, so they cannot help you. Try and engage with other mothers out there, try and talk to them, try and like ask for like advice. Even today, like, I just found out there's teething powder, guys. Those small things, they do help. Like, they help you out now with yourself, how to get rid of like stretch marks, how to make yourself, they teach you how to take care of yourself now. Also, don't be like, just because of a kid now, so at the and stuff like that. So that is it for today. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you understood what I was trying to say. Being a mother is a lovely thing, even if you were not ready. But then trust me, if you are there, you will just figure out, like, the motherly instinct just comes to you like that. Like for instance, I took my baby to the clinic for immunization and then I put her on a chair because she can sit now. I put her on a chair, and then she literally leaned over and she almost fell, but then my mother is just there, and I stopped her, like, guys, and she didn't get hurt. Like, I calculated with if she had hit the ground with the forehead, like, she'd have a scar right now. And I prevented it because I'm a superwoman, So yeah, man, if you're a mother, just know you got this, and yeah, keep on keeping on. Bye.